Hey guys, so welcome to the Inside Scoop. This is where I give you the backstory on the stories that I talked about on TV today because you can't get too into a story after 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which is all the time allotted. And today we got Kelly Clarkson. Oh, she quit. Sherri Shepherd. She was axed. And, oh, this is my favorite, Meghan Markle. Netflix can't give away her jam. Check it out, and I'll get you on the flip side.
Well, daytime talk shows, they have been in the entertainment headlines this week, from the Kelly Clarkson show ending to Sherri Shepherd's show being canceled. News Nation senior story editor Paula Froelich is here with the full scoop for us. Hey there, Paula. So,
Hey.
what is going on in the talk show world?
Well, it's a big old shakeup is what's going on. So Kelly Clarkson, after 7 seasons, has pulled the plug. Now, we can't say that we're too shocked about this. She says it's for personal reasons. She needs to focus on her kids. She's been saying this for about 2 years now. So you'll remember last year, of course, when her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, was very ill, she took off a bunch of shows. But even before that, she found it really stressful. She's a full-time mom, and she, frankly, isn't that happy living in New York City. I think she wants to kind of go back down south where her people are. And, she's just kind of like, I'm done. This is enough. I'm going to go sing on stage. I'm going to do some other shows. But the day-to-day is exhausting, and she doesn't feel that she can be the parent that she can be. Now, Sherri, totally opposite. Sherri was like, I would like to do this forever. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is not the case. She took over from Wendy Williams 4 years ago. And it's been a bit of a battle ever since for her to fight for her place in the ratings. And finally, they pulled the plug. But she has said she's going to be looking for other platforms to bring her show to. So pretty sure we're going to keep seeing her somewhere.
Well, we hope so. And that's a brave decision by Kelly. Good for her for making that ultimate call. So we've got about 30 seconds left, Paul. And I know this is one of your favorite topics. I want to know it all, but you're so great at surmising. So Meghan Markle, the latest with her as ever products.
It's so funny. One person can say one thing, and then other people are like, yeah, no, Meghan says she's a huge success. Her as ever products are flying off the shelves, and they're prepared to go international. However, at Netflix's offices in Los Angeles, according to Page 6, they are giving away the products. There's so much overstock. People are going home with free candles, wine, flowers, sprinkles, you name it. And, of course, her jams.
Okay.
So time will tell. We're going to see in the next couple of months whether it's overstock or it's a business move.
Right. Well, there was some controversy about that before, wasn't there, Paula, about whether or not
100%.
she was. Yeah. All right.
100%. But, Netflix is kind of done with that relationship, and we're seeing it play out in their offices.
Oh, my goodness. Well, a lot more to dig into there. We'll, of course, have you back. Paula Froelich, News Nation senior story editor. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Cal.
All right, so let's get into it. Kelly Clarkson. Now, listen. There's some nonsense floating around the web a couple weeks ago about how Kelly was fighting to save her show. She was not. She's wanted to leave that show for 2 years. She's done it for 7 years. If you go back to the very beginning when the show started, she was still married to Brandon Blackstock. They had 2 kids. They shot it out of Nashville. Then the marriage kind of went kaput, right? It was a lot of stuff going on. It was not a happy ending. And NBC basically said to Kelly, hey, move to New York. We'll take care of everything. Because the show, frankly, is exhausting. It's 10 hours of work. 1 hour, sure, on air if you're shooting live. Otherwise, it's about 2 hours. You do things over and over and over again. You just want to bang your head against a wall. You have to know everything about the guests. You have to be super prepared. In Kelly's case, she had to sing. She had to do karaoke a bunch of times. It was fun. It was great, but she was exhausted. She moves to New York. She goes for a wicked divorce. Again, she has 2 small children, all right? So it was really wearing on her. And then last year, and even actually, let me go back 2 years ago, because even then she was like, I'm exhausted. I don't have time. I want to go home, hang out with my kids, but I got to pass out because mama tired. Then last year, what happened? We all know Brandon Blackstock unfortunately got very ill. Kelly had to take a bunch of time off work to go and take the kids to go see him while he was still alive. Then unfortunately, he died. And it's a lot. She's a single mom now. She wants to make sure her kids are okay. NBC didn't want her to leave. Again, there was a lot of baloney about NBC saying Kelly was a lot of work and all this crap. No, Kelly was a ratings winner for them. She's a lovely team player. And she was just like, I'm done. And she made the right decision because, frankly, she still does touring. She still does Vegas. She's still going to come back to NBC and do some specials. She's still under the roof, kind of like Hoda Kotb is, another NBC talent who has 2 small children. So, the daily grind of a show, it's real, yo. Back in the day, I reported, it was the funniest thing, people like Jenny McCarthy and Marie Osmond were offered shows. Jenny McCarthy was offered a show by Oprah, and she was like, I totally want to do it. Marie Osmond was offered a show by the ET producer. She was like, I really want to do it. And then the second they figured out just how much damn work it was, they were like, check please, I'm out, bye. Now, sadly for someone like Sherri, she wanted to do the work. And we know 4 years ago, Sherri stepped in or was appointed after Wendy Williams unfortunately had to step down due to the whole issues. That's another story for another day because I got a lot of thoughts on old Wendy and I love her so much and she needs to get out. Anywho, back to Sherri. So Sherri's numbers were okay. Unfortunately, they got really good this year. They were up 33%, which is really good, but she was still cut. So what was the difference? The first 3 years, she had an EP that was not well liked by anybody in the show. I'm not mentioning his name. Y'all can look it up if you want. He wasn't well liked. The show wasn't that much fun, frankly. And this year, he was fired. She brought in someone else, and the crew, which was mostly the Wendy crew, BT Dub, really rose to the challenge. Unfortunately, it was too late because here's the deal. Daytime TV is not making that much money, and the Sherri crew was expensive. It was a huge set. It was a lot of salaries, including Sherri's, and the daytime landscape is changing. Now, Sherri doesn't want to go anywhere. Her statement came out and she was like, no, you'll see me on a different platform. So I'm sure she'll be here with us on YouTube soon. But I don't know. I never watched her, so I can't say I'm going to miss her. You know who I still miss? Wendy, period. But all right, and for the final third, oh my God, story, Meghan Markle. Yeah. So there are reports that over at Netflix headquarters, they're trying to give away all this as ever stuff. You want a jam? Take it. You want some wine? Go for it. I can't believe they can't give away wine. I mean, I'd do $2 chuck half the time. Candles, flower sprinkles, you name it. Apparently, they have 2 huge offices full of stuff that they were going to give away as marketing. And the backstory on this really is Netflix was a partner with Meghan, all right? So yes, they are investors in As Ever, but the grander plan was to have With Love Meghan market the As Ever stuff. There's another word I was going to use, but let's just say stuff. And, nobody liked With Love Meghan. It was horrific. It didn't even beat the top 1,000 show in the last episode or series. I hate saying series because they shot it all at once and just split it up into 3 things, okay? That does not 3 series or 2 series and a special make. However, we are trying to get through the Hollywood gobbledygook. Now, over on Meghan's side, her gobbledygook is, no, it's a huge business. We're getting ready to launch internationally. All the main product was moved out to warehouses a long time ago. Okay, sure. I'm sure she's still, like today she came out and she was like, look, I got jam. And for Valentine's Day, buy my jam. So yeah, she's still trying to shill the jam. But man, I got to tell you, it's rough. It's rough out there. And I don't know. Good luck to her. But the real deal is Netflix, as I said last year, is done with Meghan Markle. They're still a partner and as ever. And should she, I don't know, eat a magic toadstool and suddenly become insanely likable and sell a bunch of stuff, they still get a profit. It's no skin off their back to be like, hey, do what you want with this stuff. If you want to put more of your own money in, that's great. Our money, we're out. Bye-bye. Because frankly, if she does well, they get money. And if it goes bust, they get a tax write-off. And that, my friends, is the inside scoop. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. I'll bring more of these as they come. Okay.